welcome back. We're going to finish really strong today. I have a friend in the studio here. This guy has done over 130 deals in 2013. He is now also an author. He's very well recognized, has an incredible reputation, real mover and shaker, covers the coastal market. Coming here specifically today to talk about Solana Beach and his book, First Time Offender, Seth O'Byrne.
Thanks for having me.
Man. It's great to have you in here. You were on the radio show this week.
Yes.
On the radio show, I think we touched up a lot on how 2013 finished up, what you expect in 2014. So let's recap that real quick. What do you think we're getting into here this year?
So, you know, I was talking about it on the radio show, and my belief is the market peak, when we look back, we'll probably have said that July will have been the market peak for San Diego County, at least the parts of San Diego County that I work in. You know, that was where you saw 20, 30.
The peak for last year, or what do you mean?
Peak for last year. I believe we lost probably about 5% coming into the fall in some key markets. And I believe a lot of the spring is just gaining back what we lost in the fall. You know, with the uncertainty in the market, with the rising interest rates, with you know, the holidays coming, I think buyer confidence started slipping. Inventory started coming up. And then now as we go into this year, I think there's a lot of pent-up buyers, and I think the spring's going to be solid.
Well, you did, how many deals last year?
We did about 130 sides.
That's, for anyone who doesn't know, that's a lot. I mean, that's top 20, top 30 in San Diego easily. And you got a team now, your team's expanded, and you found time to write a book, an ebook. Tell us about the book.
So we wrote a book. The book is called Building a Story, and essentially it's best practices. So over the last few years, we've trained about 36 brokers on best practices in real estate, in residential, in San Diego. And we thought that we had a compelling story to tell. So we thought that this ebook would be helpful for agents, but also something that would be interesting for homeowners, people who are interested in real estate, or people who are looking to buy real estate and want to know what to expect from the real estate agent. Yeah,
we'll be happy to give this ebook out to anyone who reaches out if you go to craigsewing.com. Now, Seth, you have an office downtown.
Sure.
You work all the way up and down the coast. Now, your whole team can cover all of San Diego, so I don't want to pigeonhole you to anything. But today, we really wanted to drill down on Solana Beach, which is a great part of San Diego, where you work and play a bit. Let's roll tape. We've got a video of Solana Beach here. Seth helped put it together for us. Let's check it out.
Sure. What I love about Solana Beach is it's a coastal community that has expanded living. There's 7,500 square foot to 15,000 square foot lots, and moving east into Rancho Santa Fe, you can have some very large estates. At the same time, it's very easy to go from any place in Solana Beach down to the Cedros Design District, Fletcher Cove, or the San Elijo Lagoon. It's a place that's loved by a lot of outdoor enthusiasts, triathletes, and I think it's a wonderful community to live in. I think one of the most unique things about Solana Beach is the Cedros Design District. It's right along the coastline. There's 85 businesses comprised mostly of architecture firms, art galleries, and other interior design stores. Also the Belly Up, which is a very well-known concert venue that actually breaks a lot of local acts. And the Cedros Design District is really a meeting place for everybody in Solana Beach to come meet and get to know their neighbors. Real estate values in Solana Beach vary quite a bit, though the bottom of the range is around 500,000. Around South Sierra, there's communities that are built on the sea cliff overlooking the ocean, where values start around 700,000, and if you go inland to Rancho Santa Fe, values can get all the way up to 15 million. The reason I would buy in Solana Beach is because it's a very small town feel with all the luxuries of a high-end market. There's only 13,000 people that live in Solana Beach, which means you get to know your neighbors.
Well, I had a lot of questions, but they just all got answered.
Yeah.
So should we wrap up the show?
Yeah, right. We're done. We're out of here.
No, I mean, it's a terrific video, and I want that to really illustrate a key point to anybody who's watching. You are kind of a new age agent.
Sure.
You're big in the social media space. You do create these cutting edge videos, and a lot of that stuff allows you to market these properties and probably get a little bit higher end of it. But social scene, in your own words, I know we just got a little bit of it there, but tell me a little bit about Solana Beach.
So, you know, I live in North County myself. I live in Encinitas, and you know, when you live in North County, Encinitas, Cardiff, Carlsbad, Solana Beach, Del Mar, they're all very similar communities. They're all very close. They all have their own eclectic feel. But Solana Beach, I think, is really known for the design district. And Solana Beach has only been a city for about 30, 40 years now. And the design district on Cedros is really what has become the meeting place. It's very pro-business. It's very pro-boutique.
Yeah.
And it's a very cool vibe. I think when you think of a classic California coastal city, Solana Beach is one of those.
There's a lot of diversity in San Diego, and part of buying real estate, we call the show the American Dream, because it really is a place where you're going to buy, you're going to live there, you're going to build memories, and also you can build a lot of wealth as well. And so part of identifying the home that makes sense for you is your taste, your style.
Sure.
And Solana Beach obviously is a certain type of person. I know that we have a lot of people who like to get into the numbers, so we actually brought some North County numbers I'd love to have you get into, as well as just the overall psychology of how people are behaving in that market. So if we could pull up the stats in North County there, Ty. So what are we looking at?
So percentage change from last year, 1.3% increase in the market compared to Encinitas, 6.9% increase in the market. Del Mar actually dipped 2.4%. So what would surprise you coming out of a hot market like we just saw is you would think a market like Solana Beach would have exploded because it is a very desirable coastal community. But different than the rest of San Diego County, Solana Beach really didn't see the same recession that the rest of the county had. Part of the reason for this is you'd be surprised maybe to know this, but many of the homes that are bought in Solana Beach are bought cash. So you simply can't go through a foreclosure crisis if you don't have loans. Yeah. And that makes it a much more stable place to invest money.
I love how when we pulled up those stats, it was zip codes, not markets. I'm looking at, I'm like, I don't even know what we're even looking at. I was confused there. Yeah. But I know that's how, the realtor talk.
I feel like a mailman some days.
Zip codes. I just mentioned how you're really good at marketing, and a lot of the old stale stuff has died off. There's a lot of people clinging to this industry. Getting a real estate license isn't necessarily that complicated thing to do, but to be at your level is there's a tremendous gap. But we've come out of a recession, a real estate recession certainly, and a recovery. But we've also come into this new world of media and how to communicate, and social media and videos, and your website's interactive and incredible. One of the things I know that you guys do very well is you frame up the properties well. You do some incredible photography of these properties, and you sent us over some shots that I thought were awesome. And I'd really like to just demonstrate them here and tell me what we're looking at and where your head's at when you create these, and where do you put them? I mean, is this something you post on Facebook? Is this something you post on Craigslist? What do we do with this stuff?
Well, that's a really good question. So this shot that we're looking at right now, that's our Hawk Street listing.
So this is listed right now?
Yeah, we've had this listing now for the last 4 months. A very unique type of property. It's completely rehabbed. It was actually owned by a very famous family back in the 1900s, early 1900s. And this really showcases the power of nighttime and twilight photography. Shows a wide range. So from dark black to pure white. What it is it's an engaging photo, and at the end of the day, we drive showings, we drive interest by the photography. Yeah. And that's what we've really become known for.
Let's see some of your other shots here. They'll roll them up for us. Here's, I guess this is downtown.
This is the Grand, the Bosa's Grand, the two twin towers off
what a
Pacific
cool
Highway.
Shot.
Yeah, and it's kind of
I want to use that for our new American Dream background.
You like that?
I like that shot so much.
It reminds me of the Omni that you use, actually.
But anyway, go ahead.
And
so, I mean, what are we looking at here? How are you repurposing it?
This is Encinitas. We do a lot of demographic farming as well, which is really important. What that means is we use social media to actually go out and find people who might be interested in specific listings. Yep. Part of that is we do pay-per-click campaigns through Facebook. We do advertising through Instagram, through Twitter. We're very heavy into social media, but I guess the point to make is if we don't have great photography, we're not going to create an interesting story. It's not going to be an engaging property.
Well, I mean, it looks terrific. And I think the way to get the exposure to the property is significantly different, even over the course of the last few years. I mean, explain how things were. I mean, you've been in the business for quite some time. Since I first moved to San Diego, you were out there hustling. You helped an author, a guy named Bob Bodine, Power of Who, help him find a house. He got referred to you years ago. Explain how some things have changed in the marketing efforts and what you can do to get top dollar out of the property. Obviously, the photography is important.
Absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, exposure is how you sell real estate, just like any other product. So, I believe the medium's in the message, the message is in the medium, meaning if you have great photography and great marketing, you're going to drive more interest. But at the same time, print media is not what it used to be for real estate sales. And I think that online advertising is important. I think video marketing has become more important than it ever has been.
And I know that you put a lot of these videos up on your website, which
Yes.
it's sethsold.com.
SethSold.com. Yeah, we have about 24 videos up there.
There's your team there, SethSold.com. And today we talked about Solana Beach, right?
Sure.
You're going to be coming on the show all year long.
Yep.
And we're going to really drill down on all of these different markets. You can see a lot of Seth's listings him and his team have here. Learn more about him, get a copy of his ebook. And certainly if you look right there at the featured communities, which is right there at the bottom, you can see all these other videos that you've created right in the heart of each of those markets. So really, I mean, ahead of the curve, man. I mean, I don't think anybody else is really doing stuff this cutting edge. So it's really good stuff. If you're going to list your home, obviously this could help you get top dollar. First time on the show. Great having
Thanks
you
for
on,
having
Seth.
me.
We'll have you on again here soon.
For sure.
Steve Kane, that's all we got for the show today. Thank you for joining. Thank you to all of our great guests. Thank you, Ty. You've been watching The American Dream. Again, if you have any questions with anything today, go to craigsewing.com. Make sure you tune in again next week at 9 a.m. on UTTV and also 1170 a.m. KCBQ, 6 o'clock, The Craig Sewing Show. And we are out. Have a great weekend.